to the first episode of a new playlist, Italian History. I really believe that when you visit a place, you cannot appreciate it entirely unless you don't know its history. In this video, I'll talk about the most important steps that led to the unification of Italy, its contrasts then and now, and why some people are not so thrilled about it being united anymore. Italy became a nation in 1861. Before the unification of Italy, the situation was like this. The west part in blue was the Kingdom of Sardinia, which will be the protagonist of the unification of Italy. The northeast in orange was part of the Austrian Empire. In central Italy there were some city-states, in green the Grand Dukedom of Tuscany, and in yellow the Papal State. In the south there was the Kingdom of the Two Sicilies in pink, a legacy of the Spanish domination of the past. During the 1800s, cultural movements like the Enlightenment or Romanticism created new political ideas like liberalism and the idea of nation, and the Italian peninsula embraced those new ideals with what is called Risorgimento, resurgence. Risorgere means to rise again, and people believe that the Italian territory had great impact in the past, with the ancient Romans, its important Middle-Age cities, the artistic treasures created during the Renaissance, and they wanted to take the destiny back in their hands. People wanted an Italian peninsula unified under a liberal state, with a constitution that would restrict royal power. Their requests became reality after 3 wars of independence. The first in 1838, in which the northeast part fought to free themselves from Austria, but didn't succeed. The second in 1859. The Kingdom of Sardinia took upon itself the responsibility to unite Italy under its king Vittorio Emanuele II and started a war against Austria. Lombardy, the region of Milan, was won, but the region of Venice instead remained to the Austrians. In the meanwhile, many cities in central Italy rebelled against their governments and annexed themselves to the Kingdom of Sardinia. The third I'll tell you later because I have to follow a chronological order. In 1860, an expedition to annex the south of Italy was launched, the Expedition of 1,000, in which 1,000 men sailed from the port of Genoa to Sicily, guided by the famous war hero Giuseppe Garibaldi, and started revolutions in the entire south to defeat the Kingdom of the Two Sicilies. So in 1861, the Kingdom of Italy was proclaimed, but 2 important cities were still missing: Venice, ruled by the Austrians, and Rome, ruled by the Pope. Indeed, the first capital of Italy was Turin, a great city that I explored in one of my videos. In 1866, a third war of independence was carried out against Austria, in which Italy finally took over Venice and other important nearby cities. But what about Rome, you might say? Incredible as it is, today's capital was the last city to be annexed to Italy. Rome became part of a nation only 9 years later the Kingdom of Italy was proclaimed, so in 1870. The well-known quote attributed to Mr. Garibaldi, "It's either Rome or death," makes you understand how Italians wouldn't have been happy unless this unification was complete. The conquest of Rome put an end to the papal power as it was known until then, and later led to the creation of a Vatican state. So, was everybody happy now that Italy was united under one nation? Of course not! Very soon, people in South Italy felt like they had fallen victim to another foreign conqueror. Keep in mind that Italian was not really spoken then. People spoke in their own dialect, so a man from Turin and a man from Sicily couldn't really understand each other. Today we know from history books that the south was actually exploited to advantage the north. Raw materials were collected in the south to finance the industrialization and prosperity of the north. And this created an immense economic gap that still exists today and that maybe you have seen if you've traveled in South Italy. After all the efforts made to unite Italy under one nation, there are some people that today are not particularly happy about it, especially one political party. The Lega Nord, North League, is a political party representing those people in the north who think that the south is underdeveloped and slows down the growth of country. In the past decades, this hatred against the south reached its peak. And some members of this political party even suggested a secession from Italy. Secession. This is a very difficult word in English. And the paradox is that in the last recent years, this political party has changed its name in League, simply, and has started to gain votes also in the south because it has redirection its hatred. It doesn't target South Italian people anymore, now it targets immigrants. I hope you've liked this short Giulia version of the Unification of Italy. If you're interested in this topic, I'd suggest you to watch on Netflix Il gatto pardo, the leopard, a TV series based on an Italian literature classic that tells this particular moment of the history of Italy from the point of view of an aristocratic Sicilian man. Let me know in the comments if you want more videos about history.